Hello, I'm Laura. It's April 1st, 2026, and this is the Wednesday Heartwarmer of today's Heartlines. Our theme for Heartlines this week is Rise. And today we are rising and reaching for the stars. First, I would like to acknowledge that at sunset this evening begins a very important and special holiday, Passover. So this evening, we can hold our brothers and sisters of Jewish heritage in our hearts and be inspired by this time of prayer and reflection. And I'll say more about that tomorrow. But for now, I would like to focus on April Fools. Are you April's fool? Do you think that today holds the potential for new beginnings and new possibilities? In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII declared that the Western world would no longer use the Julian calendar, but rather the Gregorian calendar, which shifted New Year's Day from April 1st to January 1st. But some people still felt that April 1st was more appropriate and celebrated New Year's Day then. They were known as April Fools. Now, being an April Fool is actually to acknowledge where we've been foolish. I don't know about you, but I've done a lot of foolish things in my life, some of them pretty stupid. And yet I learned and I grew from these mistakes. And when I learned and grew from them, I was able to do what I said a couple days ago, rise and rise again. But other things that I did turned out really great, and they were usually connected to some kind of courage in moving forward into something new, into trying something new, or a new possibility in life. And I'm going to share with you the names of 4 fools who are about to launch, and maybe they have by the time you hear this, who are about to launch on a mission to the moon, to orbit the moon, and to go into space farther than any have done before. And they are Victor Glover, pilot, who is a former Navy aviator and pilot for SpaceX. Christina Koch, a veteran of the International Space Station and one of the first all-female spacewalkers. Jeremy Hansen, a mission specialist, and from the Canadian Space Agency, a fighter pilot and a physicist. And finally, the commander, Reed Wiseman, who is a Navy aviator and also a veteran of the International Space Station. Oh, I forgot someone. Their mascot. Their mascot, whose name happens to be Rise, was created by a second grader. And this young man, by the name of Lucas Ye, I had to look at my notes for that, is from Mountain View, California. And he created this small plush toy that looks like a baseball, wearing a baseball cap with stars on it, to be a measure of gravity for the astronauts. He will rise when the boundaries of gravity have been lifted. So when the things that keep us bound to limited ways of being in the past are lifted, and we are freed up to try new things, we are rising and reaching for the stars. And we're going to get into the spirit of doing that right now in a moment of silent contemplation. So let's take a deep breath and close our eyes. and hold this special thought in our hearts. I am April's finest fool, for I rise and reach for the stars, surpassing old boundaries that held me down and going where I have never gone before. I am April's finest fool, for I rise and reach for the stars, surpassing old boundaries that held me down and going where I have never gone before. And so it is. So are you April's finest fool? You can claim that for yourself by rising and reaching for the stars, by trying something new, anything from maybe a new recipe or a new way of moving into life, a new path for life. Whatever it is, be willing to be foolish. Sometimes you'll fall flat on your face and feel stupid, but you will learn and you can get up and move again. And remember, to rise and reach for the stars, you may or may not touch the stars, but at least you'll touch the moon. Thank you for being with me today, and have a wonderful day.